We're live. Good evening, everyone. Welcome to the Planning and Environment Committee. Today, the 1st of June, 2026. Welcome to anyone joining us on YouTube. Welcome to our visitors in the chamber. My name is Councillor Sue Camp. Public questions. No. Chair and Vice Chair, to note that at the annual Town Council meeting held on the 11th of May, the following appointments were made for the Planning and Environment Committee. Myself as Chair and Vice Chair Councillor David Skinner, OB, please. So I guess you know those. Right, apologies for absence.
We have apologies from Councillor Varley, Councillor Ankrum, Councillor Clayton, Councillor Skinner.
Thank you. Requests for dispensations? None so far. Declarations of interest? None so far. Minutes, pages 5 to 18, to receive and approve the minutes from the Planning and Environment Committee held on the 18th of May this year. Any comments or debate on any of those? Can we vote to agree them then, please, all in favour? Thank you. And now, because we have speakers, I'm going to pull forward a planning application for 5 Noel Paddock. And before we have our speaker, can I come to Councillor Davies, please, just to tell us what to do?
Yeah, thank you, Chair. So this is an application to knock down the existing property, 5 Noel Paddock, and replace it with a very large, very modern, substantial, multi-generational family home. So it's important to know where the house is. If you're coming up Seal Hollow Road, past the gate in the wall, you've got this first turning into a property, and then you've got a much smaller entrance which leads into these two properties, which leads into 5 Noel Paddock and then the bungalow. We saw the bungalow recently. It received planning permission for a very large knockdown and rebuild. So this is its neighbour. So if you can imagine where it is, it's not really visible from the road. The front of the site, the very, very front, and the wall in particular is in the vine conservation area. But the site itself doesn't. It's a very large site. It's covered in its entirety with a TPO, and they've had a very good arboricultural report produced that the arboricultural officer is happy with, as long as it's all adhered to. So the issue is...
No, we just need just a brief description.
Oh, right. Okay. Yeah. Okay. So it is a very large, single story, 2-story, multi-generational home sitting on this site.
Okay, thank you very much indeed.
Okay, thank you.
We'll come back to you after the speaker. Right, I can adjourn the meeting now and we invite our speaker, Mr. Hicks. If you'd like to just identify yourself, where you are in relation to this site, and tell us.
Okay, so yeah, my name is Daniel Hicks. I'm the owner of the house, and yeah, the intention is to build a wonderful home for myself and my family, both now and in the future. So potentially even older relatives would have room within the property to come and stay as may be needed. And I'm really here just to declare that it is a personal property. It's not a developer. I'm not a builder. This is for myself and my family. It's the first one I've ever done in terms of building a house. And yeah, I'm just come here to support the application and answer any questions that you may have.
Thank you very much. Has anyone got any questions of our speaker?
Thank you. I live very close by, one of the local members, Victoria Bramble. How many bedrooms are there? I was looking at the panel, quite work it out. It's quite big.
There's a spare bedroom on the ground. There's 2 on the floor. There's the master bedroom. So that is 4. That sounds also that right, isn't it? There's rooms that are potentially use it differently. For example, there's a snug, but essentially it's going to be my 2 boys have got their bedrooms. It's the master bedroom and a spare.
Thank you. Any other questions? Did I see a hand down here? No?
Can I just clarify that this part of the house here is 2 stories?
No, that there is the garage, and
Right.
it's a single story. So everything that you look out from the front, the left side is a single story just with a pitched roof.
Right, okay,
It only becomes two-story as the land slopes away
Right,
quite
okay.
sharply towards the back. And so that's where it becomes two-story, but actually just in the lower ground area.
okay, okay,
Because the whole property is sloped, so there's a few
yeah,
adjustments.
okay, okay. And are there any windows? Can colleagues look at page 4 of the?
I think they're asking the same questions as me, is that?
Yeah.
Can we get on screen?
So it's a bit.
This bit here is what you're saying is the garage, is it? We can't get it up unfortunately.
Yeah, so that's the back of the garage, the closest to the bungalow neighboured out. There's no windows at the back of the garage, and on the rest of the property as it goes down, there is just on the ground floor level, small windows for the blue green, and there might be one in the kitchen, but yeah, they're at ground floor level.
So this is single story with a pitched roof, then this garage.
So the back bit there leans away. It's like a store at the back. It's the rest of it is like is pitched like that, and then the little store bit on there just kind of like leans up towards that.
Okay, so this,
At the lowest point at the boundary.
so at the boundary it's, you know, how high?
Not exactly.
Are we looking at a single story?
Yeah, single story gutter height, if you like, before it slopes away.
Or so it slopes away, okay, got it, so it's, if that's the boundary, it kind of does that.
So also worth noting that currently none of the existing property is visible from the bungalow, and it's a two-story property. You can't see it. There's a very prominent, long developed headfront all the way down the entire property, which means we can't see anything over there. And one of the reasons why we didn't raise any objection to their build, because we really didn't see it had any bearing on ours. So I'll move back to it differently. Which is disappointing, but yeah, there's a very established hedgerow there that's in the region of 8 metres high.
This one here, you're talking about.
That's right, yeah, it's everywhere from where the access point is, all the way down.
All the way down there.
So is there objection?
We're coming to that.
Okay.
So we're just questioners of the speaker.
But just also, I didn't have a walk round there, because you might have seen, the cottage next to you that's got the planning consent on. The ground's quite a lot lower, isn't it there?
It is, yes.
Yeah, but I did see that enormous, it isn't a hedge anymore, is it? It's full boundary of trees between the two properties.
Yeah, there's trees as well as the hedging, and yeah, since I moved in a couple of years ago, I've sort of been taking measures to increase the health of that with the irrigation systems to, you know, help maintain the privacy between the two properties.
It looks cool.
Okay, any more, yes,
And could you just explain how the footprint of the proposed new property differs from the existing property?
So the existing property is approximately where the central area is now. And there's an additional two-story property to the apartment side here, and it's much closer to the boundary. At its closest point, the two-story annex building, which is currently it's a two-bedroom annex that the previous owners had built. That is as close as 1 metre from the boundary to the apartments, and as far away as maybe 3 metres, because it's straight line rather than with the line of the boundary. And the new development is approximately 8 metres away from it. So we've increased the distance from the apartments on that side, and the overall roof height level is actually 1 metre lower than the current building.
okay.
And on the other side, the bungalow side, again,
So that's on the bungalow side is single story, because it's only 2-story visible from the front or side to this section, and all of this middle section in here, viewed from the front of the property, is a single story, and it only becomes 2 stories until you get around the back of the property, which is not visible by anybody, and that's where it drops down in the land as it slopes away and creates that second level.
Okay,
Okay.
thank you, that's
Thank
quite clear, thank you very much. Any further questions of our speaker? No? Okay, thank you very much. We will reconvene the meeting and come back to councillor Grimes, please.
Thank you. Thank you, that was very
That's
helpful.
all right.
Come to do that.
Completely up to you, Lily.
Well,
Yeah, sure, okay, thank you very much for coming, thanks for explaining that, very helpful.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Thank
Do
you.
that. Okay, before I come back to councillor Michaelides, I just want to note for the record that we have had a letter opposing this application. And I'll read a summary of it here. We all have had copies, I think, that we are looking at in front of us, which councillor Michelides will come on to in a minute. But the summary of this representation, this representation focuses on the practical planning impacts of the number 5 proposal on the bungalow. Access and right of way, the 45-degree amenity relationship, the overall scale, the massing and setback, the walling and the screening, and the privacy, the bin store location and the refuse collection arrangements, construction impact, drainage and groundwater, and future intensity of the use. So there's quite a few things that are of concern there. I'm not proposing to read it all, but I'll come back to you, councillor Michelides, for your thoughts.
Yes, I hope colleagues have read the conclusion, point 13 at the end of the section sent in by residents of the bungalow. It sums up their concerns. They are very valid concerns. There is the issue of the proximity of the front of the proposed building, which is single story. So I think that's something to bear in mind. This isn't a 2-story over Massings is a single story, but the property, the new built property will be going close along their border. They say that they were always happy with the idea of the site being developed, but it is the scale of this new development that is really concerning them. It is a very large house. It's going to be a very house. I mean, modern design, very interesting design. The applicant has just said that it's not going to be used for any other purpose. It's going to be a family home. So that was good to know. Yeah, so the issue is it overly dominant? Is it too close to their boundary? Does it affect their access route? There's going to be now the issue of the 2 properties sharing this access route. Would there be a problem for the bungalow when they needed emergency vehicles? Yes, and then there's the issue of, is it just too big for the site and too much of an impact on the bungalow? So what I'll do, I think I'll just read out my recommendation. I'm very open to a good debate on this and to hear what people have to say, and we can come up with a decision once we've had a thorough debate over it. So I have recommended approval, provided the planning officer is satisfied with the designs and materials and that the report produced by the arboricultural experts commissioned by the applicants are fully adhered to. That's my recommendation. I am very
We have a seconder on that one.
to
Thank
any
you,
thoughts
councillor
on.
Chair. Okay, let's throw it open for debate. Yes.
Can I just clarify, the bungalow that we're talking about has had an application approved for quite a substantially large
Yes,
house to be the
Very,
first
very
set, so
recently.
about dissimilar in size really from what we're talking about here.
I would say it isn't as big as this one, but it is again a very, very large, a more conventional size, I think it's fair to say. In fact, we only saw it a few weeks ago.
Yeah.
We approved because we felt it was, although it's a very large property, it sat very well in the very large site. This is more like an H.
Yeah.
I think the
I
issue,
actually like the design, I think it's.
well, yes, I agree with you. I think it's like nice to see a very, so yeah, it's large, but it's just in a different shape.
Okay,
It seems to have a large footprint, but as the gentleman said, he claimed it only had 4 bedrooms. That doesn't sound like an incredibly large property.
I think it's the rooms, I think
Yeah,
it's the
that's what-
amenity
aren't
rooms,
there?
there are
Yeah.
like kind of, there's all sorts of swimming pool and pool rooms and barbecue areas and.
sounds lovely. Yes, councillor Gustard?
Sorry, apologies, I don't recall the application that came through a few weeks ago, but obviously it's called the bungalow. Is the new property going to be single story or will it be a more traditional 2-story?
Sorry, the
The
bungalow,
house next door is the
yeah, that's
bungalow.
going to be a more traditional,
So it actually be a
yeah,
dwarfed. but
very
it's
large. But
2-story.
2-story, very large property, in a more conventional siting as well, if you see it, it's sort of.
Mm.
But these are very large plots, I mean, they're very big.
So I guess really what we really need to get to the bottom of is the access arrangements, and whether we feel that they are impacted They must be sharing that now, though.
They share it now. There's no suggestion that any of it has actually been changed
No.
as the
No.
access.
Well, on, if we look at page 6, sorry, just not to refer to the comments, but just because those are the pictures we have in front of us, they do overlay the existing access arrangements with the,
That's right, yeah.
new, so the new one is in purple, but if you look carefully underneath, you can see. Is it purple? Yeah. Oh, no, sorry, not page 6, page 5. Oh, yeah, page 5 shows it quite clearly. The existing new proposed access.
Okay, so we had another, councillor Shay, did you have your hand up?
Yeah, different point, I think, looking at both the design and the concerns from the neighbours, there's a concern raised about the potential for the house getting split into multiple properties at a later date. I wonder if that's something you've got a view on, and whether it's something, is there a need for any condition around
I would be very
the
happy.
apartments being inured to the main property, for example? I can't quite judge from the drawings how divisible it is.
It's my understanding that they're seeking to build a kind of house that would have separate living areas for a multi-generational family, although they share common rooms, you know, a sort of like a Roman style villa with like wings, and yet they share the swimming pool, they share. I mean, I can see that they have the potential one day, but I don't think we can assume that's what the applicant wishes to do now.
And concerns with other properties in the past where there's been a garage being
Yeah,
converted into living space, for example, and that would be more obviously divisible than this, where it's sort of integrated into the main building. Is
what
that,
condition would you like to see?
It would be tough. It would be tough to do that.
Because so many houses go.
So many large houses
Big,
seem to be in that
little,
position.
big.
The simple fact is that if that was what they wanted to do in the future, that would require a separate planning application.
Yes.
And even if it was done without permission, it would still have to be retrospective. There would still have to be permission for that. So that is how that's done. I think you'd struggle to put conditions on there. Councillor Granville, you were next.
I noticed they had a pre-app for this, and originally they were proposing a standard house, rather like the application for the bungalow, and they've had feedback from the district council planners, and one of the things that they were asked was to maintain the setback position and entrance screening to suit local character, and that's one thing I think they hadn't done, because although the sort of core of the house is set like that, these wings come right up to the access road, which at the moment, the whole house, the existing house, sits right back. Whether that's a planning issue or not, it's definitely very different. It doesn't come, it does come right forward to the access road. So it's a lot of that space, a lot more than it does at the moment. And yeah, there are other things that were on the that they were advised to look at, but that's the one that I think it doesn't satisfy.
You could put that as an informative. You could flag that as an informative.
What, that it doesn't satisfy the pre-app condition of maintaining.
Well, we can't refer to pre-app, but you can make a reference to informative that you would want to see.
Yes, see the building not come right up to the access.
Or adequate screening or whatever it was they were asked to do,
Yes,
that would need to be put there.
I think, yes, I think, well, I think I would like to propose conditions on that, that it doesn't dominate the access road. So it's
Yeah, I'd be very happy for that.
That could be,
Although the access road is on their own property,
yes, it is.
it's not a road.
Yeah.
So right of way, as I understand it, across the property of the gentleman who is over there to the next door property.
Right, right.
and it hasn't come further forward of the original building line, that left-hand wing is around about the same location as the current garage, isn't it?
Yes.
So in terms of its relationship to the road,
Yes.
it's similar to the current position. It's not like it's butting right up against the
I think
Apollo
the
Road.
neighbour's concern was, and it relates to this request from the planners, the neighbour's concern was that the wing that's next to them, next to, is actually really dominant, and they're worried, they're worried about,
Except for large
rubbish
neighbours.
and.
They want screening, that was what you mentioned. Adequate screening.
I think if it being a two-story, then I would have had very serious
Yeah,
concerns
so-
about it, but I think.
It's a lovely house, it looks really like.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
Okay,
Any other?
Yeah, I think that overall, a lot of the concerns of the neighbour could be met by various conditions that the planning officer might put on it. But there are also things thrown in there that really sort of building control issues. It
Yeah.
sounds like a bit miffed that they're going to do their own development and somebody else wants to do a development. And their lorries might be going down the road at the same time as another, which is not really a planning
no,
issue. So, obviously, if it does fail some 45-degree test, then
We're not-
so be it. But most of the things I think could be coped with.
well, we are just asked for our views, what do we think about it? And is it too big, too small, what are the concerns of the neighbours? You know, those are what we're asked for. Did you?
Yes, I just wanted to see if I can clarify something. On the drawings that were that been submitted, the access to the bin store isn't, I can't see it's actually on there. Whereas in the letter of the neighbours complaining, it looks like in order for the waste to be collected, the waste lorry is going to park past their house and block the neighbour's house.
It's not really,
It's there.
I don't think bin lorries going to go into their driveway.
Not that it's
You've got to take your bins to the edge of your property, so they're going to take it out of the path and put it on Field Hollow Road. That's what you want to do, isn't it?
yeah, it's
Not
not,
store their bins in between times.
No, in that gate.
Take it out onto the.
it's not really, planning concern. If it was actually, if the bin store was on their land or encroaching on their land, then that's a problem, but it's not, it's contained within the proposed area, the proposed site. And everybody has to take their bins out somewhere, so you have to, and multiple bins it's gonna be as well shortly. So, yes,
Yeah, I just wanted to clarify the concern of the drainage of that's not
well, if it's a lot of hard surface, is there a lot of hard surfacing?
There is, yeah.
Okay, so maybe we should have a condition, maybe on the gas,
Yeah.
on the permeable, large areas need to be
It's a very
permeable.
concern. I mean, it is going to have a very large, sort of,
is it on a slope?
yes, it is.
I see.
Yeah.
So we need to make sure there is adequate provision for surface water drainage. And any large areas of hard landscaping need to be inclusive of proper drains and porous surface, that's
Yeah.
it, according to our, so next to our neighbour
Yeah.
plan, something. So I think we're here with approval with all
Well,
of those
I think
things.
the issue is it refusal unless or approval provided a long, substantial list of what do
I
colleagues,
think, I don't think there's enough to refuse.
Alright,
I think it is the right way. If it was a two-story on the boundary,
yeah,
but the gentleman clarified that it's actually sloping away, so it's not 3 metres within the boundaries, so 3 metres in, the height meets it all, so it's not really an issue. That would have been an issue, but it's not. And it's just a large property on a large site.
yeah.
And there is no uniform with the properties, they're all individual, they're all different.
Yeah.
The fact that there is a planning permission for a large house next door, it may or may not be built, so we have to look at what's there now, because we don't know if it's gonna be built out next door. And is there any impact on the bungalow there? Are there any windows overlooking? Is there any problems with access? Is there any problems there? And I'm not sure that there really is. So I don't think there's enough to refuse. I think the recommendation is correct. Approval provided. Planning officer satisfied there's no overlooking or loss of amenity. And then we've got the surface water drainage, and did you want to say something about the screening or the?
Yeah.
No, nothing about that. I would, and you said about the arboricultural officer,
Yes.
providing that was there, and they're happy, and there's adequate tree protection measures for the build. all of that. I think that's all relevant.
Okay.
And the hard landscaping, for services, drainage, I think we've covered it. Anything else to add? No? Okay, can we vote on that then, please? All in favour? Thank you. That's wonderful. Right. Item 6, Kent County Council definitive map modification order for public park. SC 52, that's pages 19 to 23, to receive formal notice and accompanying statement that KCC has made a definitive map modification order claiming a public footpath under reference SU 52 between Crown Lane and Dartford Road. This was made on the 6th of May this year. To note that the order will come into force only after it has been confirmed following the advertisement period, and that any presentation about or objecting to the order must be submitted by the 3rd of July. So we note that. Street naming and numbering, notification of new addresses, pages 25 to 27, to receive change of address notice and associated plans for the single dwelling recently converted from 2 flats at 113B and 113C, Bradbourne Vale Road. The new address has been revised to 113 Bradbourne Vale Road. Decision notices on planning applications commented on by us, pages 29 to 30. I don't think there's too much difference there. There's one there. Holly Oak Terrace, we recommended approval, they recommended refusal, that's fine. Other than that, we seem to be in sync, which is pretty good. Planning applications, okay, let's go on to the planning applications. Now, the first one is Councillor Shea, 7 Oaks Quarry, Battersea Moor Road.
Thank you. This is a revision to a reserve matters application in relation to the barn, which you may recall sits in Seal, not here. And we don't tend to comment on applications that are in Seal. And I propose that we continue the same. For information, this is after proposal to develop scouting facilities on the quarry site. So the barn opens up off Childsbridge Lane, just as you're leaving Seal, on the left-hand side if you're going up Childsbridge Lane. There is a derelict barn there. It will become the Scouts. That this revised version of this application moves it somewhat to protect some ancient woodland, but the access point will remain where it is. But the provision is for a 2-storey barn with scout facilities, climbing facilities, camping facilities. Yeah, as I say, it's in Seal, and I recommend that we don't make any comment on this occasion. Not in our parish.
Okay, we don't need to vote on that. No, we don't. Right, let's move on. West Heath School, Councillor Daniels.
Yeah, we've seen this one many times. This is the installation of main gates to driveway entrance and installation of the footpath for security reasons. This is back to us because we've now got updated report from the tree officer that includes the ancient woodland impact assessment and also an updated biodiversity net gain information, as well as responses from National England and South East Water, none of which raise any comments or concerns. So my recommendation is still as approval.
Okay, do we have a seconder? Thank you. Thank you. Any debate? Can we vote then, please? All in favour? Thank you. Moving on, number 3 is Park House. This is alteration to fenestration of the conservatory and replace glazed roof with solidly with 2 roof lights. So this is quite a large conservatory out the back. It's single story, obviously, and they just want to change some of the windows. And they want to replace the glazed roof with a solid one and skylights. I don't see any problem there at all. It's not very high. It doesn't overlook anybody. It's at the rear, and my recommendation is approval. Quite a simple one, I think. Any debate? Can we vote then, please? All in favour? Thank you. Councillor Dr. Canay, 47 Oakdean.
This is an original detached bungalow on quite a large plot in the lakes, and they propose a loft conversion with gable ends, roof lights and L-shaped rear dormer. This, in my opinion, will make a new modernised 3-bed house with 2 bathrooms. And there are so many varieties of adaptations in Oakdean Road already that I think this relatively modest development should work okay.
Recommend.
and I'm recommending approval.
Thank you, Gwen, seconder, thank you. Any debate? Can we vote then, please, all in favour? Thank you. It's still with you, or is it councillor Shade?
It's us. Both of us. This is a very interesting one. The garages are, do you know where the traffic lights are as you come along the A25 from Baton Ball Crossroads?
Like a one-stop shop.
And the one-stop shop,
It wants them.
and there are garages opposite there.
Yeah.
And it's a proposal by West Kent Housing to demolish these existing garages. The pictures I hope help you, because they were in the planning application. And you can see there's a block of relatively new flats, right? My main concern with this is that it'll overshadow those houses at Great Place Lane, particularly due to the fact that they're on a steep decline from the Seal Road. The only windows facing Great Place Lane in a private gardens are those in the stairwell, so these could be requested for obscure glazing, which would resolve any privacy concerns. Inset balconies are proposed fronting onto the Seal Road. Oh well. However, I don't consider this to be particularly effective or valuable design feature due to their facing this busy road, busy junction, particularly chaotic during peak commuting and school run times. This would detract from the potential quality and amenity value that can realistically be gained from them. There are 4 flats in this proposal. 1 single bedroom flat and 3 2-bedroom flats. They propose 3 car parking spaces between the 4 flats, as well as cycle parking, and it isn't clear whether the parking spaces will be specifically designated to a particular flat. The development as a whole feels like a missed opportunity to deliver an attractive landmark asset in this prominent corner plot, and to improve the amenity generally in that area. I'd like a discussion from colleagues about this one on how to.
Who put
What
in
to
the
recommend?
application, was it West Kent, did you say?
West Kent, it's a West Kent piece of land.
What are your comments, councillor Shade?
This would be put forward as shared ownership of housing, and we're short of that kind of property in the town. This isn't a planning consideration, but just for context, this is about releasing sites and generating some funding to help deliver the scheme proposed on the Farm Road site where Abacus currently sits. So West Kent are treating these 2 sites together. So that's just for context, and that site down on Farm Road is to deliver social housing, whereas this is affordable, I think shared
For sale.
shared for sale. It feels like a bit of a missed opportunity to me in design terms. It's a missed opportunity as a piece of land right now. It's not well used. It doesn't serve great purpose of garages. I don't think I've ever seen anybody using garages except as parking spaces. The flats alongside our Seal Road are quite tall, and they do also have balconies facing the road, don't they? Which, funnily enough, you don't often see people sitting out on. But I feel like from a design perspective, this isn't everything it might be. It's a very prominent location, and I want to like it, but from a design perspective, I don't. But in terms of what it would deliver, I do. Does that make sense? And that was the sort of conversation we were having, we were looking at, so we'd like to open it up to the council as a whole for views, because don't want to stand in the way of the delivery of affordable housing. But would really like to see,
Something a bit more simple.
something which could really, improve the neighbourhood. The other thing that councillor Kenny has mentioned in here is the opportunity. We know that the local residents have identified the area in front of the shops adjacent as a potential to become a better bit of public realm rather than a scrappy bit of grass and pavement which has had to have bollards on it to prevent the parking, and the hope that there might be an opportunity through section 106 to leverage some improvements to public realm locally. But again, that runs contrary to this idea that it's delivering on affordable housing. So we'd love your views.
Yes.
I think we have to look at, I think you've summed it up completely, is, what do we think of that?
It's a
there?
dilemma.
What do we think of that building there? We're not objecting in principle, but what do we think of that building there? That's what our views are. Yes.
I think also I'm very mindful of the residents of Greatness Lane who are going to be faced with a substantial, in fact, we talk about mass and bulking in other applications. Look at it here.
And that's
Yes, and it's sloping down as well. In fact, the road slopes quite steeply there. I think if that had been one less floor maybe,
Yeah, that was my feeling,
but that
which would match these ones.
it's difficult not to see the huge impact on the residents. Although again, I'm very mindful of the need for this housing. I think we all are.
Yes, but we also need quality housing.
Yeah.
We need to think of who's going to be living there and who's going to be looking at it, and it's going to be there for whatever happens now. It's going to be there for years. So
Well, the people in the top floors will have beautiful views.
yes, absolutely. Then we have some hands here. Yes, councillor Lane.
Is there anywhere on plans that show where the proposed parking is going to be?
If you look on
Yes,
the
there is.
drawings on page 2, you can see there's a red car driving past, and
Yeah.
that sort of
They
brown block behind is undercover parking.
yes, thank
So
you.
there are 3 spaces on that side accessed from Great Nest Lane, which is where cars are accessing now to park in front of the garages.
I thought it was a potential hazard, if cars parking in and out of, if it's coming from the main road, for example, that could cause even more congestion on Seal Road.
I don't think there are so many spaces that it would
Affect
be a
that.
huge impact, and it is a very slow moving junction, as we all know. You don't go through that fast unless you're on a bike.
It could be even slower if people are trying to get
Only at very short intervals, I think.
People are used to doing all sorts of clever stuff.
But I do agree with you, councillor Shetty, councillor, and I feel it just is, it looks overdeveloped and and I'm concerned equally for the people in Greatness Lane, it will be so dominant and a huge adjustment for them.
Yeah.
There
Okay.
are no windows, sorry, just to say, there are no windows
on that side.
on that side, and there are no windows on those properties on Great Nest Lane, so the two won't look at each other, but it will be there and it will be towering over as they walk to their front door, where it's currently quite open and low.
Did I see? Yes, councillor Custard.
So I just wanted to sort of echo Claire's comments that I really want to support this application because and to support West Kent in their ambitions, because I know in this environment how difficult it is to build these affordable homes, and particularly social housing. However, I do think from a planning perspective, the impact it will have on their direct neighbours on Greatness Lane is such that there will be significant loss of amenity from what I'm seeing in front of me to them, and in view of that, I think I would have to be supporting a refusal due to the height. I just think it's probably just 1 story too high, and I don't know if there's any way of making it wider and bigger to get the number of units they need, but or a different
there
roof
isn't the
design.
space.
Yeah.
It's not up
To
to us.
really
No,
have
I
it,
don't
no.
think that. Councillor O'Hara?
I actually don't, I'm not that fussed about the height of it. I think because we've allowed parking underneath the building, it's taking it up a floor and more.
Right.
But if we didn't allow parking under the building, then those cars are gonna be, strewn on the corner there. So I thought it was actually quite a compact way of designing something. The buildings next to it are also 3-storey with a roof,
Yes,
so it's not completely out of kilter. I think it's probably because there's a blank space, there's nothing there at the moment, and you're going to put something there, it's going to be quite something to get used to. But I wouldn't have thought it's not a million miles away from what's already there.
Okay, councillor Granville, you're a design person.
Oh, we'll just chip in, it's on the, it's gonna take all the sunlight out of the first house on Great West Lane, because it's south of it.
yeah.
So that garden will be completely overshadowed, and it'll be a very different place to live.
Is this a quick one?
Well, I would say, say that the other flats there are also 3 stories. This isn't 3 stories, it's 4.
Yeah.
So there isn't that comparison, and whereas one might not be too worried about the height, I think it's more important what the neighbours think about the height than probably any of us.
Okay, I'm hedging towards a refusal on this one. I don't know how, okay, I'm getting it there. It is, we have identified it in the Southern Town neighbourhood plan as being a gateway area. In need of improvement, but also in need of something that's really quite striking with good design. And I'm not sure that this fulfills that brief. So in principle, we've got no objection to, housing on that side, affordable housing, even the height, I think possibly, we're looking at what we see there. And I'm not sure that the design fits. I think it's a bit too bulky. And we have all the concerns of all the people who are around and about, and the loss of amenity, and I think we're hedging towards refusal on that one.
So just jotting down what people have said, if we were to move for refusal on the grounds of bulk and massing, design quality inappropriate for this prominent gateway location, loss of amenity to neighbours on Great Nest Lane, would that cover our concerns?
I think it probably
Yes,
would.
thank you.
Do you want to propose that
I will
one?
propose that.
Do we have a second? Okay, thank you. If there's no further debate, can we vote on that, please? All in favour? Thank you.
Thank you for your help.
Bad though, isn't it?
Yes,
Okay, let's move on. Councillor Granville.
Oh, okay, so this is,
Sorry. No, sorry, but we moved on, ignore me.
probably got one, with
Let's put in a condition out there.
oh, Carol, sorry, can we go back a bit? Just the one that you've just done, because we'd like to try and say something about improving that area.
What, the public realm?
Yes. If they are given, if they were to give permission. We've got 2 pictures there, one of how it is at the moment, and one of the little roundabout garden at the top of Bradbourne Road.
It's not against what you just said, so it is
No, it isn't.
secondary resolution.
Secondary resolution, I've been told.
Thank
We
you.
can add that.
Yeah, okay, could we move a second resolution then, please, that if the officers were to be minded to grant permission, that they should explore and section 106 consideration for improving the public realm
Okay,
in front of the shops.
okay, so we have a pro and a seconder. Can we vote on that, please?
Sorry, can I
Yes.
ask, is that debatable? Because I'm just wondering, I'm assuming some of that section 106, will it be for providing the social housing at the
Yes.
Abacus site?
That's the list.
But we still want to condition that?
Yes,
It's just a,
it's been talked about for a long time in that area by people. And this is an opportunity to raise it.
we can raise it, whether they do it or not is up to the
Yes.
planning officer.
If we phrase it as explore,
Yeah,
we're asking the officers to look at this as an area. It may be that in the event negotiations wouldn't deliver it, but if we don't put it out there as something that we should be aspiring to locally through the opportunities of section 106, it would be a shame not to at least create the discussion.
Okay, yep. Okay, can we vote on that then, please? All in favour? Thank you.
Thank you, Chair.
Moving on, 51 The Drive.
Thank you, Chair. I really said I live in the drive as well. I'm not sure, I don't think that I know these, they certainly haven't spoken to me. So I think I'm all right to talk about this. Basically, it's a retrospective planning application. It's a very small fence at the right-hand side of their drive, which was completely decrepit. And they replaced it, the applicant replaced it with a 1.2 metre high fence, which is just to the right of the drive, which looks completely fine to me. I don't think there's any problem, no highways problems. I think there was an issue that they hadn't spoken to the neighbours and they cut some bushes back in order to do it, but they actually fixed fence for both ourselves and the neighbours. And I think it's come to us because it's in the conservation area and because the neighbours objected, and so it's been brought to us to have a look at. I don't think there are any problems with this at all. I would move on to the recommendation. I recommend approval.
Thank you. Do you have a seconder? Thank you. Any debate?
Just one point, like Councillor Granville, my brother-in-law and sister-in-law live at number 52 The Drive, which will be, I guess it's the other side of the road, so it's probably not relevant, but I just put my hand up.
Flag that up for interest. Did you want to say something?
No, sorry, I was just
Wasn't sure.
It's changed, isn't it?
Okay, if there's no further debate, can we vote on that, please? All in favour? Thank you. Carried. Councillor Willis?
So this is 15 Lime Tree Walk, alterations to demonstration, reopening an entrance and a Juliet balcony. It's really quite an interesting property, actually. So it's got a very, very long history. Actually looks lovely. But there is a very odd kind of post-war extension, I think, due to bomb damage. And it's this bit they're looking to address. So I think overall, the improvements would actually bring it back almost more to what it was before it was damaged. And so I'm in favour of it. Where are they? Seven Oaks Society, broadly supportive, I got the sense of, and as I say, I think it's sympathetic, but it may be worth people having a look at the design issues because it's quite prominent even. So I'm suggesting approval, subject to conservation officer be happy.
Thank you. Do we have a seconder? Thank you. Any debate? Yes.
I didn't look on the portal. Was there anything from the conservation officer?
There was for a previous one, but not this one. So I think they were happy with the change of land use originally.
Yeah,
And I think now they're changing the windows, but the windows seem to match the rest of the building more, whereas I think
Nice.
so I think it's actually an improvement. But
Yeah, nice building, isn't it?
yeah,
Yeah,
I mean,
great.
it's
They've done
it's
it
quite
well,
interesting
yeah,
reading.
It's very good.
I think.
Okay, if there's no further debate, can we vote then, please? All in favour? Thank you. Councillor Nicolaides?
Yes, a nice straightforward one. So the proposal is to put in a roof light. The application is to install a Velux conservation style roof light in the front roof slope of number 15 Argyle Road. The property lies in the High Street Conservation Area, but the application, in my opinion, is sympathetic and of very minimal impact. Recommendation approval.
Thank you. Do you have a seconder? Yes, thank you. Any debate?
Just for my ignorance, what is a conservation style roof light?
That's a good question, actually, because
As opposed to any old.
it's a
roof
bit
light?
more expensive. Yes, I think they're mindful of trying to put something nice in.
Got gold leaf on it.
Well, I don't know about that, but
Right,
Okay, if there's no
that's what it was called. It was
Right.
literally
Yeah.
called that. But the
Yeah.
official term is conservation.
Right. Any further debate? Can we vote then, please? All in favour? Thank you. Carried. We have done already the Knoll paddock. Yeah, this is an interesting one. Variation of 106 agreement of that planning number, so I dug that all out. And they are applying for. They want to insert a different definition of low-cost housing and insert the NHF MPC wording to allow for charging at MV stat, whatever that is. So that's what's on their application form. What does that mean exactly? I could not get hold of the planning officer, but what I read from that is the original 106 agreement is to, and one of the clauses is to use their best endeavours and take all reasonable steps to procure the development of the Golding Road site for low-cost housing by a registered housing association. That was on the original that I dug out. And not to cause or permit the Golding Road site to be used other than for low-cost housing without the prior written consent of the council, which shall not be unreasonably withheld. So if you then look at what they want to do, they want to insert a definition of low-cost housing. And they're varying the condition. So I'm inclined to refuse because we want to keep the low-cost housing. I'm not sure how they want to rephrase it, but I think we need to uphold the original 106 because we need housing.
Yeah, because it was done for a reason.
It was done for a reason, to use their best endeavours and take all reasonable steps to procure the development of the site for low-cost housing by registered housing associations, and not to permit it to be used for anything other than low-cost housing.
Yeah, I think that's quite important.
And so that to me seems they want a definition of low-cost housing, I'm guessing. Because what they're saying is we wish to insert a definition of low-cost housing. I can understand.
Are they all rented there or?
No idea. I can't. But they're seeking to change the 106.
Yes.
And I'm not minded to release that. I don't know how anyone feels about that. It's quite an unusual thing to have in front of us.
No, because we've lost so much lower cost housing. Because
So-
it's being sold off.
I think we could say, you know, we don't want to lose this opportunity for low cost affordable housing.
Yes. I remember it happening. I remember that
Do you?
site being developed, yes.
Councillor Augusta, did you have your hand up?
Yeah, so the applicant is West Kent Housing.
Yeah.
And obviously they provide affordable.
They want to
social
sell it
housing.
off.
Well, it says we wish to insert a definition of low cost housing and
Yes.
insert, but I don't, what do we, NHF MPC, what he looked it up for? To allow for charging.
Can't do what with
I
electric
don't know.
vehicles?
And the STT, I mean, it's so many acronyms,
Yeah.
could our comment just be,
So can I
Do not
have experience with this, it's
understand.
suddenly the pennies drop.
okay,
Sorry, because my sister is in West Kent Housing
Oh.
and she has applied through Mobility to get an electric vehicle, but they are not allowed to put the charging on the property because it goes across, because it's considered to be a private property. And so she was denied the opportunity to have an electric car.
I don't think that's what this is. We wish to insert a definition of low cost housing. That's what they're proposing to do. A low cost housing with some wording to allow for charging. Is that possibly to encompass shared ownership?
Got charging for cars then.
Just the definition is.
It's very
Councillor Shea,
uncomplicated.
are you Googling? Because I got stuck on this one because I haven't come across this before.
I think this is very technical, and I think it's about social housing regulation, and if we want the officers to look at it through the lens and ensuring that social housing is delivered, then perhaps your suggestion of refusal is the way to do it, but I don't think we are well enough equipped to comment on this.
This is why I was stumbling a bit on this one, but
I mean, we don't have to comment.
Can we say we don't understand?
I mean, that's.
Could we be going back just with a commentary position to say this it's that it is important to the town council that social housing is delivered. And we hope that planning officers will look at it in a way that ensures that this site continues to deliver affordable housing for the town in the manner originally envisaged.
I think that wording might work. Sorry, who
Talk to us.
Councillor Willis?
Has it been built? Because I've been up and down the road and I can't see any garages, so I don't know where it is.
No, it's called the David Garage site.
Yes,
It's not,
But it's just a row of terraced houses.
yes, it is, and it was built in the David's Garage site. That's what it's called.
I was just trying to think, yeah.
It's like your house is called Greensleeves or,
Okay. So the whole place has been built already?
yes, some years ago, 10
Okay.
years probably.
Okay.
I think we just go, we just want it maintained, we don't want it sold off, we need the affordable housing.
That's what I'm worried about.
This section 106 was signed in 1993.
I know, it's a long time ago.
So they're looking for a variation, which might be about
40 years ago, 30 years ago.
So I think it might just be about changes in legislation, and we need people to know what they're doing to.
We're not
comment on
really,
this.
I think we'll go back with the comment then, because we don't want to see anything lost. I think that is the way forward.
All I've learned is that MPC is a mortgage protection clause. And the NVSCT is a market value subject to tenancies, and I think it's without knowing what.
It sounds like they want to sell it or share ownership.
I think it allows people to purchase them with a mortgage, but it's difficult to get a mortgage on something with a section 106 agreement.
Yeah.
This is just my interpretation and understanding. So it allows people to buy.
But then it will
So
make
it's
it a sale.
It's for accessing finance. But yes, then you can sell it on at open.
Which is what I don't want to see.
Yeah, and you'll lose the affordable housing.
Yeah, we don't want to lose
It
affordable
won't be a
housing.
perpetuity.
So I think maybe, yeah,
Is there any reference in the neighbourhood plan to our policies on public housing?
We're just
So-
desperate.
that you want more social housing.
Yeah,
But there's no stipulations as to which of these categories that should be in or anything like that. Nothing precise.
No, that's why they want to insert something for low cost, they want to change the low cost housing, so they have the opportunity to sell them off, I'm guessing.
But if we agree to this, we're not contravening our own plan, it's not really going.
we would be because we don't want to lose.
Well, if we are, then that's.
I refusal. I'm tempted to, because we don't want to lose the provision.
You know, they're only little houses.
I think Councillor Willis is looking for grounds for refusal. I mean, there's.
We can't seem to contravene our own plan unless we have a bigger discussion about our own plan. This-
We want to try and keep some rented housing from West Kent Housing.
So that this implies.
You could recommend refusal because it appears to be contrary to the STN bill, which is.
Rented to the West Kent
housing.
Housing.
Yeah.
We could do that.
Officer comes back to
The people who are living there want to buy it.
If we would move a refusal along those lines, Chair, and
Then
then
it's
perhaps
not
add a informative to say that this is clearly a specialist topic, but the ambition of the town council is to preserve all the affordable housing in the town.
Perfect, I think we do it that way, because I'm erring to refuse losing something like that, so I think we'll do that as the clerk has recommended with your additional bit.
Is there any way that what we're suggesting here is contradictory to what we talked about by the one-stop shop?
That's for sale.
That's for shared ownership. I think the concern for the one-stop shop was more about the design of the housing, not that there's a problem with the delivery of affordable homes there, but that it should be done in a way that suits the site.
I mean, as long as the messaging is clear as to why we
Yeah, I agree.
seem to be going against.
Sensible question, yeah.
Okay, I mean.
Yeah, I did raise that when we were having this discussion.
Okay, to wrap this one up, I move that from the chair, then refusal, as the clerk has said, with that bit of its contrary and what and also the bit that councillor Shay has mentioned. If there's nothing further to add, can we vote on that then, please? All in favour? Thank you.
I abstain out of total ignorance.
It's a tricky, I've never seen one of those come in front of us before. We don't normally get,
We haven't ever seen one, so it's important
it's a first one.
with
and
the
it's-
changes in the rules of renters and things.
Yeah, I think it's quite important that we seem to preserve as much affordable housing as we can.
Because we've lost so much.
Yes, okay, moving on, councillor Gustard, Highstead.
Yes, this is 3 Wellmead Drive, and it's located at the bottom of a cul-de-sac of detached well-spaced properties just off of Grassy Lane. And the proposals for a large single-storey extension that wraps around the side of the house, providing a new open plan family living space and guest bedroom. It will have a green roof and a skylight to allow light into the room below. The extension will be modern in style, with zinc cladding and plenty of aluminium glazing. So the existing property is like a 1930s, sort of brick and white cladding building. The landscaping includes a new large terrace that extends to the side around the guest bedroom. No trees are to be removed as part of the building works. However, the location plan does indicate that there are many trees around the boundary, a mixture of conifers and deciduous trees. The infill extension at the front is minimal, and the existing painted cladding is to be replaced with clay tile hanging, which will be in keeping with the character of the area. So the application did receive pre-app advice, which was favourable. And whilst the trees are not TPO'd, it being a build zone would encroach into the root protection area of these trees. But as there's no arboricultural advice, no survey or no comment available from the tree officer, it's difficult to assess whether there's any impact to these trees. So my recommendation is approval, providing that the tree officer is satisfied with the application.
Thank you. Do we have a second, please? Thank you. Any debate? Let's vote then, please. All in favour? Thank you. Carried. The White Cottage, councillor Daniel.
Thank you. This is 132 Kippington Road, the proposal for a detached garage, a garden outbuilding, relocation of the front entrance and replacement gates. So this is a detached house on Kippington Road, and the detached garage is a single story close to the front of the boundary. So proposed garage. And also the proposed garden room is also single story with glass doors. Property is in the conservation area, There is ample screening on all boundaries, so only the roof of the garage will be visible from the street, so should not adversely affect the street scene. The neighbouring properties and others have a garage in a similar position. The garden room is at the far side of the garden, backing onto Clench's Farm Lane, so it's unlikely to be visible from neighbouring properties. The gates are similar in style to others in the road. No trees or hedges are to be removed. My recommendation is approval.
Thank you. Do we have a seconder? Thank you. Any debate? Can we vote then, please? All in favour? Thank you. Councillor Lane with you, 14 Hollybush.
This is proposal of a demolition of the existing garage, single story side extension, single story rear extension and first floor side extension, alterations to fenestration, new roof windows, new patio and pathways and roof lights. The site is on a residential road in central Seven Oaks. The existing house is 2 properties in one building previously rented. The site has 2 driveways from different roads and 2 different addresses at the moment. It is within the Vine Conservation Area. The property is surrounded by a stone wall and an array of greenery and trees, which screens much of it from the road. This is from the Tree Preservation Officer's report. The TPO 5/2004 protects some of the trees on the site. The house is also in the Heartlands Conservation Area, which gives protection to all the trees on the site with a DBH greater than 150 millimetres. Some of the trees listed in the TPO document are no longer there. The proposed work would see a small extension on the northeast corner of the house. The work will not affect any of the trees on the site and no root protection area are encroached on. Based on my visit, and this is his quote, and survey of the trees, no trees would have to be removed to accommodate proposed work. My survey did find some heavily declining trees and suggested clearing and management work separate from proposed building work. The extension is modest in size and is in character to the rest of the property. There are no privacy or light issues pertaining to this application. My comment is that it's a modest change to the property and does not impact on neighbours, environment, trees or area. It will enhance the appearance of the property. I recommend approval provided the conservation officer is happy with materials and chart tiles chosen.
Thank you. Do you have a second? Thank you. Any debate? Yes, Councillor McCarthy.
You say it's a modest change, but isn't this a first floor side extension?
It's a big house.
Isn't that quite a big?
Yes, but it's in its own, it's completely, separate from any neighbours. It's completely isolated, not isolated, but there's no issues with overlooking or anything.
Thank you.
To modernise it is the lovely.
Yes. It's quite a big space.
Okay, any further debate? Can we vote then, please? All in favour? Thank you. That's carried. 80 Bradbourne Road, yes, I looked at this one. This is actually a corner plot and 80 is on the junction of Bradbourne Road and Camden Road. It's a very, very large plot. It's a detached house and they just want to make it a bit bigger. And there's no real issue with it. It's we have a single story side, which is not a problem, side and rear. The roof is being changed and a loft conversion with front and rear dormers. So the replacement roof to the kitchen and front porch, not an issue. The loft conversion, it has very large front and rear dormers. However, they are on a corner plot and they're quite a long way from any neighbours. I don't really see an issue because they are a long way away, but they are our dormers. So my recommendation is approval, providing the planning officer is satisfied that there's no overlooking or loss of amenity to the neighbours from the dormers at the front and rear. Any debate? No? Yes?
Yeah, sorry, I'm struggling to locate this in my brain. Where is this?
It's on the corner. It's on the corner of Bradbourne and Camden.
Oh, okay.
It's that sort of, that shape.
Right.
And the house is there, and it's quite a long way, but there's very large dormers at the front and the back.
So are those dormers going to look into the school or across Camden Road? I'm slightly concerned about the school side.
No, just trying to get the plan up.
It's near the rifle.
No, it's the other end of Camden Road. It's by the black gates that lead into the nursery.
Have you got it up there? So the dormers are going at either side, so they look that way onto Camden Road and then they look to the back. They're not looking the other way over Bradbourne.
No.
They're looking because of the way of the house, so they're looking to Camden, but there's a road before you get to the other house. And then there's a whole back garden and another garden before you get to another house. So they're quite some distance away, but they're also in the roof. So in essence, not a problem. I think they're far enough away. And I don't think it's a refusal. I think it's a approval providing the planning officer is satisfied that there isn't any overlooking from those dormers because they're very large and it's in the roof.
Would you mind specifically mentioning the school, please? The school playground?
Yes.
And playing field. It's very close by.
Okay, could certainly add that. I think it's far enough away, but I'll take the point. We can add
I'd rather
that.
it was looked at and reviewed.
It's
in
worth
that-
flagging.
Yeah.
It's always worth flagging. Any further debate? Can we vote then, please? All in favour? Thank you. Oh, we know.
It's me.
It is you again. It is you.
Yeah, I have 3 this week.
Oh, gosh.
I did them all. This is Knoll Park Golf Club, on Seal Hollow Road. And this is the digging of a trench and laying water pipes and electrical trunking for approximately 25 metres to enable connection to manifold and water storage tanks. So this is an application for certificate of lawfulness of existing operational development to confirm the lawful implementation of planning permission reference 23-02032 for a water storage reservoir with associated pump equipment, fence and landscaping at Knoll Park Golf Club, Essex, Kent. Planning Commission, which it's not attached with this, but it was when I read it, was granted on the 7th of December 2023 and remains extant until the 7th of December 2026. The description of development under permitted scheme is as follows. Proposed new reservoir with pump house and associated pump equipment, fence and associated landscaping and all the pre-commencement conditions. So, the implementation works were undertaken on the 2nd of April 2026 within the lawful implementation period for the Planning Commission and comprise the following: digging a trench 25 metres in length, laying a length of wood pipe to enable connection to manifold enclosure, laying of electrical trunking, backfilling of trench. The pipework has been laid to the exact requirements and within the boundaries. The development is therefore in accordance to the approved plans. So unless anyone has any other comments, I recommend approval.
Thank you. Do we have a seconder? Thank you. Any debate? This is quite a tricky one, isn't it?
Yes, is it within the golf course site?
Yes, just got to get on with it.
Yeah, it's something to do with it's to do with the reservoir, isn't it?
Yes.
Yeah.
But so it's not going across public roads or?
No.
I remember the original planning application.
Mm.
My understanding is that they haven't gone on with this work for various reasons, in particular around the fact that it's
Money.
leasehold, well, money, and they don't own the properties, don't buy the tax bills. This is slightly puzzling, but it sounds as if they've done some preliminary pipe work,
Yeah.
which
That's
they'd like
good.
to do at the base of the planning application, but they're not actually building the reservoir.
That's interesting, isn't it?
Yes, councillor Gustard?
Well, the reason they've done it is just so that
Yeah, with the law
to
to
spell the conditions so that so it's acknowledging that the work's already started, so if they decide to do it in 2 years' time, they can build out this planning application.
Yeah.
So we are not approving the 25 metre, we're asked to acknowledge that this is a validating the work has started and therefore.
They've actually
It can
kept
be
the permission
completed.
alive by starting it anyway, because the condition on the planning
That's-
application, one of the first ones
That's
is
all it is.
that it be begun before the expiration of normally 3 years.
This summer's going to concentrate the mind and they'll do it.
I mean, they've done that, they've commenced it, but they're just getting it
They have to do it.
recognised lawfulness.
Sure, they will have to. One of the things they're not allowed to do.
And the landlord will
is
have
do
to
it.
let them.
One of the things they're not allowed to do is to do it in the summer.
No, sorry, I didn't mean that.
No. Okay,
Quick question, so could they in theory do this like ad infinitum?
Yeah, when you have a planning permission granted, the first condition is normally that it be started, that it be commenced before the expiration of 3 years. So if it was for a house, for example, if you did all the groundworks, you've started the house. And if you provided you started it before the expiration of 3 years, you kept the permission alive. And that's basically what they've done here, but in order to button and braces it, if we like, they've gone for the certificate of lawfulness to say that they have started it and getting a formal, you have started it.
I think they'd want to crack on with it, don't they?
Well, anecdotally, Dr. Canay can probably correct me, they've been looking for water down a borehole for a long time,
Yeah,
haven't
it's
found
not
any, but they now have. So they've got some water to put in a reservoir. So they might get
We
on.
don't know,
And do it in the winter, yeah.
we don't know.
Yeah.
Anyway, if there's no further debate, can we vote on that, please? All in favour? Thank you. Oh, you did another one.
I know, I'm very busy today.
Busy, 19, Court Road.
This is actually, as far as I can see, very straightforward. It's repositioning of an existing pier and install new driveway gates. So 19 Vinecourt Road is a detached property that is secluded by a wooden perimeter fence. The applicants wish to increase the width of the driveway and are proposing to re-site one of the brick piers with like for like and replace the gates with aluminium cathedral gates with a wood effect finish as seen in the image. This is an enhancement to the entrance of the property and provides easier access. The materials and design of the gates appear to be sympathetic to the property and area and an attractive addition. I recommend approval.
Thank you. Can I have a second? Thank you. Any debate?
I'm sorry, I'm being a nuisance tonight, but at the moment, there aren't any brick piers. Existing, there aren't any brick piers on that.
There
I've got the street view, oh, there are.
Oh, there are, I think we're
Okay.
looking at the wrong section.
Okay, 19,
Where is it?
that's the, yeah, there aren't any brick
That
piers.
must, no, there was on the image that I saw.
Smart.
There definitely was.
Right, anyway, I don't think there's a problem, it's just that it's a lot wider than the existing.
Yes, it is.
And we're going to have to continue to get further to, allow cars to use and access that wide, I don't know if that's an issue.
No. That is a good point. I did look at the drop curve and it did seem to coincide with the width, but I don't know whether that image you have is an old image, because I definitely was.
Sorry.
Yeah, no, it's fine, but it's a good
I
point.
was just trying to remind myself that.
No, it's a really good point.
Good. Thank you. Withdrawn.
Okay. All right, if there's no further debate, can we vote on that then, please? All in favour? Thank you. And the last one is councillor Willis, but I think it's been withdrawn, so we can pass by that one.
Oh, lucky.
So we're back to
I
the.
did it before, is it? Is that called a bank withdrawal?
Yes.
Okay, so we're back to the agenda. Is there or are there any press releases? Any? No? No press releases? Okay, then thank you very much, everyone, and I close the meeting at 2019. Thank you and good night.
What's that?